Hey, hey!
Hey guys.
Rig review on a very complicated buggy.
Yeah, it's got a lot of things going on here for sure.
Right on.
Right on. Here we go.
Tell me about this, and how come it's covered with camo?
Okay, so I think a while back, and those who are following know, we wanted to set out and do sort of a build-off. And I've kind of made some progression on this and got to a point where it's almost done. So it took a lot of time and a lot of effort to get it to this point, simply because I didn't know what I was doing. It's the entry-level holiday buggy from Tamiya.
Well, some of it is.
Well, some of it is. It's actually the new re-release kit from 2010 and the actual old kit from, I guess, early 80s, maybe 82, something like that. So there's a lot of things going on here with some modern upgrades when it comes to electronics.
I always like that.
Yeah, I mean it makes a lot of sense, especially in today's age. And then the other thing too is the holiday buggy, which there's a lot of them out there. Have a body in which are very difficult to paint. So they all sort of come with the blue or red body that comes with them, and I wanted to do something different. And I didn't know what to do. However, I always liked the Fast Attack.
Yep.
So this is kind of a combination of the two, Fast Attack and Holiday Buggy, and this is what I've created.
So now I'm trying to understand this here.
Yeah.
The top part, the shell, is the re-release Holiday Buggy.
Correct.
And then the bottom, the underneath, the drivetrain, the whole undercarriage suspension, that's the old.
Yes.
Vintage.
Correct.
Okay.
So, and I'm glad you pointed that out. So, what happened here was we originally got the 2010 re-release Holiday Buggy.
Yeah.
Again, entry-level kit. And
so, tell me why that's different from this chassis then, because obviously there's some reason why you wanted to use this instead.
Right. So I didn't like the chassis at all. I didn't know what I was getting myself into when we purchased those ones. Love the body, the design. Remember the old one, but didn't like the chassis that went with that particular re-release in 2010. And the reason why I didn't like that chassis was it didn't fit the body well, because in my opinion, the wheels stuck out way too far for the positioning of the body, and that was the reason why I looked for something else. In doing so, and looking for something else, the only thing that I could really find that was either manageable, could use, or didn't have to do a lot of sort of changing over, was I found on eBay a vintage Holiday Buggy chassis, which was in decent shape. However, the body was simply gone, and then that was the opportunity to use the brand new body and be able to use the old chassis. And what the old chassis has is it aligns the wheels underneath the body much better, so that they're not stuck out way too far.
Like I remember the pictures, you know, the modern re-release one is like, it looks like a short course truck with a Holiday Buggy on top.
Yeah. So. Obviously, combining the two, it was an easy fit. There are some changes to the new body from the original, and here there's these openings, which you can see that on the original body they don't exist. The reason why obviously they exist now is to allow for the suspension, or that particular chassis. The new chassis has...
that's right.
That's where the shock towers would poke out.
That's right.
So there are some changes from the original to the re-release body. However, I sort of masked that with put some black netting underneath it to make it look sort of a military army feel.
It looks awesome, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Super nice. So
then... you know, sort of to continue with that, once I realized I had a vintage chassis and I had the body, it was like, okay, well, what theme am I going to come up with? What am I going to do? And one of the things that I found out that I didn't know was that the instructions say, do not paint this body. And I was like, well, you know, why, obviously. And I guess it's the plastic that it's made out of, which is much like, as we've mentioned before, recycling bins, believe it or not. And it's not prone or very conducive to allowing paint to stick to it.
Oh.
So there was a whole process in which I had to go through to be able to allow paint to stick to it. And it was a sanding and then heat treating, which chemically changed the chemistry of the plastic, and then some more sanding and then painting. So
how'd you find that out?
Thank goodness there's YouTube out there, because it certainly helps with these types of projects. So there are people out there that have all kinds of wealth of information that help me with this. So that was a really challenge, though, not actually doing it before and having to go through this whole process of heat treating and being able to apply enough heat, however, not warping the plastic was a bit of a trick. Managed to do it. Paint stuck to it, and I went with this camo theme, which was inspiration from the Fast-Tac vehicle.
So is it sprayed or brushed, or like how did you manage to get all this fantastic color on here?
So it's
a matte finish, obviously.
Yeah. So what I did is I sprayed it with a plastic primer, and then sprayed it with sort of the military green drab color, and then I went over it by hand painting the camo theme on it with a brush. And I just went with my gut, really. I think it looks okay.
It looks fantastic.
It's not too bad.
No, it's super nice.
Yeah, so that was sort of how this became what it is in front of you right now.
I see you ditched the Buggy tires too.
Yeah, the original tires that came with it. And on this one, the fronts are original from '82. All the rims are original from '82. Like I said, the chassis is. But the rear tires are more of a scale feel. I think they're, I'm not even sure. They're from RC 4-wheel drive.
They're MTZ, 155s.
155s. And they sort of just fit on the original wheel. And they look much more scale. The old ones were done. They were hard as hockey pucks. So, yeah, they weren't good.
No.
And the neat thing about this particular build was the chassis. And I see you playing with the suspension. The chassis and the suspension on these early day entry level Tamiya are absolute junk. I mean,
what?
I mean,
are they really?
It's horrible. It's just, the Fast-Tac front suspension, which is just a rod and a pin or a spring.
Yeah, it looks like a big pen.
Yeah, exactly. That's the same sort of setup that's in the front here.
Yeah.
Part of the chassis was damaged, and I had to fix that. Mainly the shock towers were damaged, and I fixed that with a bit of aluminum.
Yeah.
And then the rear suspension is just a piece of fiber board, what I call that, sort of compressed like fiber board.
I think it's a fiberglass sheet.
Yeah.
Oh, but you've got something fancy in the back, though.
Yeah, so what I did is I left the original suspension, which is, again, just that sort of thin piece of fiberglass board.
Yeah.
But there was this gaping hole in the back, which even in the original, there's this sort of area in which was just yearning for something. And so I put a nice little scale detail, which is a 3D printed engine, much like a Volkswagen engine.
Yeah.
Which I got from Shapeways. One of the guys on Shapeways has that. I think it's designed for the Sand Scorcher.
That looks so friggin' legit, man.
Yeah, so I painted that up, went together really nice. It was a nice spot. It fit well with this particular model.
That's amazing. That looks really, really, really good.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah. You should be really happy with that.
Interior came from the Fast-Tac vehicle model. So did the rear lights, and the front lights are all the Fast-Tac Tamiya model that's out there.
Yep.
Kind of married those two together. We can actually take it apart.
Can you?
Yeah, it's not.
Oh, sweet.
It's not overly complicated.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, they make it simple. There we
go.
So this is the interior.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's, again, for those who know the Tamiya brand, as I said, this is from the Fast-Tac vehicle interior. Just kind of painted it up, made it fit this chassis. I'm missing a few electronics as we speak, but that's all going to go in. but that was the original chassis all done up, and you can see
Wow.
where, I don't know if you see that, but this is where the
Yeah,
repair went.
Where the shock spring thing is.
Yeah. So what to me it did back then is the shock tower was just a tab of plastic with a hole cut through it, and then the spring and the tower would go through there, and they would break.
Oh yeah.
So I replaced that with some aluminum on the top, sort of shoe glued it in place, and then put a nut and a bolt, and it worked. And it looks good. Yeah, thanks.
This is really flat. I'm kind of surprised that everything's so like low center of gravity. I mean, everything's like right on the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't driven it yet. Obviously, it doesn't have a speed controller in it or battery. Battery, I'm going to sit up front.
Oh yeah.
So I think it'll be a fun runner. Won't have much of a suspension, so flat ground. And then this is the body that's done up. Again, it was a fun and it was a nice build. I enjoyed it, and it came together quite nice.
This motor's just smoking. Like I gotta say that again. That thing, that adds so much awesome. To the back of this car.
Yeah, it really sort of adds that.
Oh my goodness!
Special, nice effect to it.
And it's a 380 motor, looks like.
Is that what it is? I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, the little guy. Yeah.
Little tiny motor.
Yeah. That's the original. I guess the original came with a 380 motor, so it's all original. The chassis is in great shape. I'm really actually quite pleased with it after the repairs up front. Yeah, it's going to be a nice little runabout. I'd like to see it on sort of some sand dunes or what have you.
Soon. Looks like you're almost ready.
Yeah, even though it's snowing again today. Oh my God.
Yeah, well,
we'll be out there soon. We'll hopefully get this with maybe this. Do some videos with that.
Let's do that.
Yeah. So that's the Fast Attack Holiday Buggy Vintage New Re-Release project, which I'm quite pleased with.
So give us just a quick rundown on how you got all this detail in the interior. Like, where is this dude from?
So again, that's the Fast Attack. Most of that, I would say 90% of that is Fast Attack interior. I just ordered it off eBay. They had an interior kit. Okay. I had to widen it ever so slightly just to fit in the body here. And then there's a little CB radio that we got from Crawler
Concepts, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then
and the steering wheel is from the
Fast Attack.
Yeah.
And then just add a few little details here and there. Put a first aid kit in there and a gun that I had from somewhere else. So just simple stuff. It was, again, I enjoyed the build. Not overly crazily scaled out. Just a nice simple build.
Leave it to Tamiya to do a knees up interior.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every vehicle should have at least a knees up interior, and they do it all the time.
Yeah, they certainly do.
I just love that.
Yeah, they're good at. I've always enjoyed Tamiya. Always been great builds. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Looking really good, man.
Thank you very much.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm into this theme. I don't know why. I love what happened with the military blazer too.
Yes.
When Noob painted that up and I saw it, I thought that's a really good idea. It fits that truck so well, and this fits that really nice. Like, it's super nice.
You make a good point, because I don't tend to go towards the military style of vehicle or builds or paint themes, but I enjoyed this one thoroughly. I would do it again. I may even someday build a Fast Attack from Tamiya, but this certainly will do for now, and we're going to get it out on the trails and have some fun.
It looks the part.
Thanks.
Yeah, well done.
Thank you.
If you guys have an FAV kicking around or some kind of a military build like this, post your video in the link below in the comments, because we want to see it too.
Sure do.
Yeah, thanks for sharing your rig.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Enjoy, guys.
Take care.
Keep RCing. Do we need to hold this up for the camera at all? No, it's good. You can still see it. We both have green shirts, so that's good.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to not have black on.
Right.
Today, because you lose all the wheels and everything.
Oh, yeah, I guess it makes sense.
You can't hardly see any of the black stuff.
Makes sense.
So, you ready?
Yeah.
Hey, hey!